I'm Judge Andrew Napolitano, and the verdict is in on the death penalty. Here's the question. Is lethal injection a violation of the Constitution because it is cruel and unusual punishment? Here are the facts. This week, the Supreme Court will consider whether the method currently utilized to administer a lethal injection is unconstitutional. Most states in the nation, including the federal government, use a similar mixture of deadly chemicals for the injection. This case in particular hails from Kentucky, where the suit was filed by two convicted murderers on death row. They claim that the lethal injection process, while maybe not painful in itself, has the possibility of being painful and therefore violates their Eighth Amendment guarantee, which bans the infliction of cruel and unusual punishment. 14 states across the U.S. have already banned the death penalty altogether, with New Jersey joining the group just last month. While awaiting the court's decision on this case, states have placed a hold on almost all executions. Over 3,000 men and women are currently on death row. Only 2 of those are for a crime other than murder. Both are in Louisiana. And just last week, the court agreed to hear a case coming from one of these 2 men, named Patrick Kennedy, who was sentenced to death for raping his 8-year-old stepdaughter. He is asking the Supreme Court if it constitutes cruel and unusual punishment to impose the death penalty for a crime that does not result in the death of the victim, such as the rape of a child. The Supreme Court has already answered this question once, in 1977, in the affirmative, but that was specifically dealing with the rape of an adult, not a child. The rape of a child is currently a capital offense in several states, including Georgia, Oklahoma, Texas, South Carolina, Montana, and, of course, Louisiana. The court is not set to hear this case until April, however. So here's the question. Is the method by which we administer the death penalty unconstitutional? And under what circumstances is it constitutional to send someone to death? Only in cases that deal with murder, or is it ever constitutional for the government to kill people? Here's my opinion. The Supreme Court has gone back and forth on this many times. For 175 years, the death penalty was constitutional, but only in cases where the victim died. Then the Supreme Court declared the death penalty unconstitutional in any cases, and then 20 years later, it brought it back. I suspect the Supreme Court will say to the states, it's really up to you to do what you want, but you can't execute anyone unless that person has caused the death of another. Why? Because that is the traditional means by which we have used the death penalty in this country. If you want to hear more of my opinions on this topic, check out my new book, A Nation of Sheep, now available in bookstores nationwide. You can also tune into my nationally syndicated radio show, Brian and the Judge, every weekday from 9 a.m. to noon. And don't forget, you can always catch me right here on the Fox News Channel throughout the day, every day. I'm Judge Andrew Napolitano, and that's my verdict.